And good evening, and welcome to another edition of the debut edition of the Raw Post Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Raw Post Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? Let me talk to you. I am the visionary. I am the revolutionary. I am Ralph Williams. It's great to be here tonight for our first edition and debut of the Raw Post Show, and I'm just trying to play around with some stuff here because I'm using a different thing tonight. As you can see, I have a headset on, and I welcome you to the show. We're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland, in Studio B, and I want to tell you, it's great to be here tonight. Raw was okay tonight. I'm going to give it a C. They started off with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker running all over the place, Braun spearing him, and then he tried it again when Seth tried to do something, and then the Street Profits came out. That happened, and it was just kind of ridiculous tonight. You had the Judgment Day, and Finn Balor going up against JD McDomo, and he had no chance at all, none whatsoever. Okay. So Pensman, thank you for being part of the program tonight. There's Pensman. How you doing, Pensman? And don't forget to tune into his programming on all the time on our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platforms. We're on six platforms because I got 2 Facebook pages: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network as well. All right. So don't forget to tune into Pensman. He does stuff on the Yankees, the Penguins, Steelers, Pittsburgh sports. He's on with me and Brian Pettit every single Saturday for the Saturday Sports Show at 10 a.m. here on our social media platforms. Wednesday's a very special day, and we'll get into that later on when I go into my announcement segment here. We have some announcements going on. All right, so there. Let me see what's okay. Wait, hold on. There we go. All right, R.I.P. John Sterling. Yeah, sad to hear about him. Longtime New York Yankee announcer. Rest in peace, John Sterling. Also, Duquesne University basketball play-by-play for men's basketball. Ray Goss passed away last week, 89 years old. And so, some of these broadcasters are going up in broadcaster heaven with Myron Cope and the rest of them up there in broadcaster heaven, Howard Cosell and all them guys. So just to let you know. All right, let's get back into the Raw post here. Now, this was kind of foolish, but you know what? It's interesting because this Saturday, I think it's Saturday, the AAA event, AAA is now owned by WWE. They're having an event where they're going to have a mask. The loser has to unmask between the 2 El Grandes. So tonight, El Grande Americano, the original, was there tonight, and he's got 2 new guys, Bronco and Guido or something like that. And the other El Grande, the phony El Grande Americano, who I will tell you who it is Ludwig Kaiser. All right. And his two knuckle brains. One of them, believe it or not, happens to be Butch. Remember him? Yeah, happens to be Butch. I don't know who the other one is, but I know Butch is one of them. So, he was with Sheamus and that other guy, and They had their little faction going there for a minute. But the big talk this week has been WWE cuts. The New Day. WWE, as I mentioned earlier, is well, as I was talking to my wife here, my lovely wife, and she said, and we were talking about cuts in WWE. TKO and Nick Khan made an announcement today that they're cutting new contracts that are getting signed are cutting 50%. Now, the New Day, they asked them to take a 50% pay cut to renew their contract. They said no, they're going off to AEW, and the rumor I'm hearing right now is that all right. Yep, I got you. So let me get back to this here. Nick Khan, TKO, they want to cut some of these salaries down. I don't know what's going on here. And you know, my mom said something to me very interesting today because I had a video I was watching about the New Day. She said, I see the arena's always crowded when she watches SmackDown with us. So I don't understand where the WWE is losing money unless they're not selling out these places. And I know they canceled some gigs at a couple cities because they didn't sell. Okay. I don't know if WWE is aware of this, but people right now, the economy's bad and people just don't have the money to go to these events. They're going to all these independent events. And I've said it, I don't know how many times on my Wrestle Talk show, which is no longer in existence at this time. We're only coming on Smoking Jim and I for special things like Backlash is coming this week. So we'll probably do I'm going to do a Saturday post thing on Backlash. That's coming up on Saturday. Friday night, SmackDown, I do a post SmackDown show, just like I'm doing a Raw show tonight. So Smoking Jim will appear at times on these shows and stuff like that to give to go over some synopsis of what's going on. But I want to tell you, tonight's Raw wasn't bad. It was all right. They had Becky Lynch come out running her mouth. I'm the best. I'm this. I'm that. So Aruka was signing her contract to be on Raw, and Becky Lynch comes out and has to make a spectacle about everything, make it be all about her, all about what she's doing as champ, how she did this, how she did that. I get it. All right, I really get it. All right. Yeah, you're right, Pensman. You're exactly correct. Nobody pays attention, but they should. And that's exactly it. They should pay attention to some of this stuff. Because by not paying attention, you don't know what's going on. And that's exactly it. All right. Thank you for participating, Pensman, as always. All right. But don't forget, every night now, after Raw, there will be a special Raw post show, which we will do here. And so I just want to let everyone know that as well. But tonight, El Grande Americano and his Blimpo or whatever, those guys, the Creed brothers, they used to be called. They now wear masks and they have different names now. They won against the fake El Grande Americano and the two Boneheads. All right, so just to let you know that. So it was okay tonight. It wasn't all that great. A lot of this and not a lot of wrestling and things like that. But Finn Balor should know that JD McDonough came out with the Judgment Day. And of course, the ref didn't do his job, and that is get out the Judgment Day out of the area and just forget about it. Okay? But it didn't work that way. And it turns out that JD McDonough beat Finn Balor tonight. Okay? And also, you got also tonight, Austin Theory, who's part of the Vision, lost to Joe Hendry, or it was disqualification because Logan Paul came in because Joe Hendry started that song about firing Logan Paul. Logan Paul says he can't be fired. Well, should be the demon. That's right, Pensman. He should be the demon full time. I don't understand why he's not. That's something that I can't figure out. If he was the demon all the time, he has a different persona when he's the demon. That's his alter ego. Okay. All right. My alter ego is El Ralpho Americano. So I might have him fill in for me one day next week. El Ralpho Americana. You know, he filled in for me one other time. Did a good job too. So, you know, and then the Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu contract signing got out of hand. We all knew that was going to happen. And, I didn't notice until Roman Reigns said this. Jacob Fatu, man, I think you need to go get a vasectomy or something because you got 7 kids, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot of mouths to feed. 7 kids. And Roman Reigns says, "Oh, I've been handling 170 kids over the years. I've been carrying this family. I'm the acknowledge me. I'm the OTC, the original tribal chief." And he got into a big squabble with Jacob Fatu. 7 kids. That's no wonder Jacob Fatu's looking for more money. Oba Femi tonight, and of course, Otis stepped up. Now I got to give Otis credit for doing that. He stepped up. Okay. But he got beat real bad though. That's the only thing about him, Yeah, he's been around. He's been in the wrestling business, Pensman, for about 15 years. 12 years in the main wrestling circuit, 3 years in the independents. Okay. So this week on Backlash, the interesting part I want to talk to everybody about is there's rumors going around Zilla Fatu is coming. Now, these rumors have happened before. Now, I'm hearing rumors too that Roman Reigns will not be involved in any June Raw shows. I don't understand that either. But you know what? I want to say something to everybody. There are people out there that are phonies. And I'm understanding this through the fact that I've put out some bad information because I got some bad information. You got AI out there. You got all these people putting these erroneous reports out there that just don't apply. All right. Yeah, not much tonight on Raw. It was just about this and, some other stuff. And that was it. Division getting all worked up, and they think they're it. I think the Street Profits are going to beat them. I think Division's falling down. And then Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. That's going to be an interesting thing. It's going to be a good match. I want to know. See, Seth has no friends, and he made it that way. When you stab people in the back too many times, you go from being a heel to a baby face, and then you go back to being a heel, and then you screw people over, and you manipulate people. That's what happens. Then you have no friends. Roman Reigns is kind of in the same boat, but the good news for him is he has a big family. You see, that's the difference between Roman and Seth. All right. We're going to wrap things up here. I got some announcements to make as always. Now, this Wednesday, I'll tell you what, I have something very special for you this Wednesday on the Ralph Williams Show. Here it is. And then I'll tell you what's coming up. All right. Here's what I have for you. This is the show of a lifetime for the Ralph Williams Show. And the first time ever on Philadelphia's 860 AM, WWDB, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., Tim Krul will join me. He is the director of Atlantic City Airport. We're going to talk about Spirit Airlines. And wait till you see what Atlantic City's airport did. They beat everybody. And I'm going to tell you how they beat everybody out of the Spirit problem. Okay. I mean, they really came up with a plan. People have more respect for Roman than Seth. Yeah, they do. They do. A lot of people, the way Becky and Seth act, like they own the place. And, there's I'm going to use this saying, Pensman, and I think you'll agree with me if you watch season 5 of Chicago PD. And you remember when what's his face, the auditor, all right, Denny Woods, remember? And he was going after Voight. And he told Rusev, when Rusev said to him, well, why are you going after this man? He said, there's one bowl of food and too many two dogs for one bowl of food. Now Raw's got a problem. They have Roman Reigns and they have Seth Rollins on the same show. They have Gunther on the same show. And that can be a problem. And that could be where the dog food part comes in. One bowl of food, one championship, and all these people lining up and wanting it. Rusev tonight fought Penta. It was Penta and that Javon Harris or whatever his name is there too. I forgot about that match. They took on Rusev and Ethan Page. That was a pretty good match. All right. Penta better be careful because Rusev's a good wrestler and he's out to get that belt and he wants it bad. All right. All right. So my show on Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., WWDB in Philadelphia, 8:60 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show. Great show. I just told you, Tim Kroll, the Atlantic City Airport Director. And we're going to talk about Spirit Airlines and the plan that they came up with that's actually worked. And, okay, Seth Kaplan from Harrisburg Station, ABC Channel 4 in Harrisburg, Seth Kaplan. And Seth is going to come on, and we're going to talk about Spirit Airlines and what it's doing to the small airports. Arnold Palmer Airport in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, where the Steelers practice. What it's done to some other small airports, and he and I are going to talk about that. And that's coming up then. And then on Wednesday, Wednesday's the big one. You know why Wednesday's the big day? Because it's the return of this 7:30 p.m. right here on YouTube, my 2 Facebook pages, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. The return. Here it is. There it is. Yeah, big show on Wednesday. The Ralph's Opinion Show makes its triumphant return, and we have a lot to talk about. The war in Iran, the Hormuz, the gas prices going up, all kinds of stuff going on. Medicare, what do you see what Medicare is doing to everybody? Oh, man, it's a huge show. It's a full hour of nothing but some great topics as well. And President Trump talking about some stuff with the Constitution. Wait till you hear this story. Oh, my gosh. But the Spirit Airline thing, you know, that's going to linger for a while. And who's to blame for this? And I'm going to tell you who to blame is on Wednesday on Ralph's Opinion. There is a lot of blame. You know what they say? There's always a lot of blame to go around. So that's Wednesday. All right. 7:30. Oh, what the heck. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. I can't believe that happened. Wow. Okay. Well, whatever happened there. Some kind of something. I don't know what happened there. We'll get it done. All right. I am Ralph Williams. This has been the Raw Post Show. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday to the Ralph Williams Show on 8:60 a.m. WWDB. Great show for you. Tim Kroll, Atlantic City Airport Director, to talk about Spirit Airlines, and Seth Kaplan from Channel 4 ABC in Harrisburg talk about Spirit Airlines. We're going to have a great conversation. 2 guests, a lot to talk about Wednesday on the Ralph Williams Show as well. And stay tuned to the RW Media Productions of my network in Pensman and Brian Pettit's network. In fact, Brian Pettit has a new network, and I'm going to show you this here. He has a new network. Here it is right there. Sports Break Media. Brian Pettit. Join him. He has stuff going on as well. Lots of things with him. And then don't forget to join Pensman. Here's Pensman right here. Don't forget to join his stuff. And we have a lot of Ralph reports. We're going to be doing a ton of them. Just because I don't do my Tuesday show anymore, that doesn't mean I'm not doing a lot of active things on my network, and I am. Lots of Ralph reports. Stay tuned for news, all kinds of topic, opinion, discussion, things like that as well. And don't forget Saturday Sports Show with me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, Leo Haggerty. Our guest this week will be Mike Sisak from Amped Up Sports. He's going to talk with us about the Ravens, the Washington Commanders, and the Steelers draft. As we're going to break those 3 teams down. We got a lot to talk about. Baseball, Pensman will be bringing us up to speed on the hockey playoffs. We have a lot to talk about. So don't forget to tune into that as well. I'm Ralph Williams. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's Raw Post Show. I will see you Friday for the SmackDown Post Show. and a whole lot more all coming up on RW Media Productions. Like and subscribe, please, to my YouTube channel and all my other social media platforms. Until next time, please be safe. Thank